Hey yo, it's your boy Monster Man Rocco.
It's your boy Swagger Rock.
This is Snack the Ripper.
If you rap for those who don't know.
This is Master Ace. You are now rocking with the best. Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records.
Breaking Records Radio. Let's go.
Breaking Records Radio.
Press 5-9, you check Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records, man. Radio is like the place to be. I don't fuck strange music, man.
We talked about graffiti a little bit, and I think most people end up knowing you as a rapper, but I can't help but notice that the executive producer credit on the last few albums, at least in terms of yourself. How do you see yourself as a producer as of late? Do you see yourself at least getting more into that?
Well, yeah, I've always had a good ear for picking out samples and like sample digging and things like that. So if I hear something from, let's say, whether it's a movie soundtrack or something on the radio or just some obscure record, if I hear something that I feel like could be sampled and flipped, at first I used to just give it to Necro, be like, yo, flip this sample, let's rap on it, or I like it, or whatever producer I'm dealing with now, I'll be like, yo, can you flip this sample? And I still to this day. So that's kind of an executive producer type thing, because it's where the idea comes from. If you get the idea of the song and of the beat and I'll even give them everything up to like the BPMs. I'll be like, yo, make this like 92 beats per minute. Give me some, hi-hats. Give me some, this needs some violin. This needs some keys. So that's the realm of an executive producer. I don't physically, man the MPC or the fucking ASR 10. I don't do any of that physically. But as far as my ear and kind of being like an orchestrator of how the beat should go, and constructing the formats, I'm all about that. Even when a producer gives me a beat, and I like kind of like the skeleton, we call it, the skeleton of a beat, I'll take it to my engineer at the studio and we'll fuck with it. We'll make the drums thicker. We'll mix the whole beat. We get the beat stems, the wave files, and every instrument. We'll mix every instrument, and then we'll add things. My wife plays keyboard and bass and shit like that. She's a live musician, and we'll bring her into the studio to add keys and bass lines and shit like that. So definitely I'm hands on when it comes to that stuff. So I would say that that's a executive producer credit, right?
Yeah, fair enough, 100%. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the new album, The Boogeyman Is Real. What's this album about for those listening? How is it different from, I guess, the previous catalog that you put out?
Well, I kind of feel like every album of mine kind of has an underlying theme to it. So Born of the Naked Dead had its, that kind of theme. Even with the visuals, you'll see the artwork. I always pick out some crazy artwork or hire some crazy artists.
Artwork, yeah.
Right. So I come from the days of being shredded by fucking Iron Maiden covers and having like Iron Maiden Eddie posters on my wall and shit. So, I was always blown away by artists who use crazy artwork, because you get the visual that goes along with the music, and then it becomes visual nostalgia as well as audio nostalgia, especially if the record becomes classic. Because you say Born of the Naked Dead, someone might think of a song, but someone might also think of the cover, So, that's one thing. But as far as Boogeyman Is Real, it's also that theme, that Boogeyman is real, the monster that you might be scared of, or like the fucking the menace of everyone, like kind of like the Freddy Krueger persona or whatever kind of thing, but of in a hip hop sense. So it's like it's almost become, how like the Boogeyman is a legend of horror kind of. After all these albums, it culminates to the Boogeyman Is Real, and it's like a legendary monster of hip hop, Mr. Hyde. So a lot of the stuff on there is very, in that nature, like say like the Boogeyman type of monstrous flows and monstrous feel to it and evil feel to it.
Gotcha.